Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are group 3 from class MB477. We will presenting our report on the operational analysis bank of the largest private bank in Indonesia, Bank Sentral Asia or BCA. Before we begin, please allow me to introduce the member of our group. There are Intan Nur Awalia, Trajas Nasira Putri, Andriana Febrianti, Syah Ataya Salsabila, Muhammad Rifki Salabi, Lutfi Faiz Kairi, and also myself, Andreas Arya Sinulantar Haris. In this presentation, we will explain several key aspects of BCA banking's operations, including its capital structure, source and use of funds, liquidity management, risk management, and overall performance. We hope this presentation provides a clear and insightful overview of how BCA manages its operations effectively in a competitive banking environment. Next slide will be presented by my friend.
To finance its activities, BCA utilizes two main components in its capital structure, namely core capital or Tier 1 and supplementary capital or Tier 2. Based on the data on this slide, the capital structure of BCA reflects our very solid financial condition with a strong dominance of Tier 1, which area 96.3% of capital, an increase of 9.2% compared to the previous year. This core capital generally consists on the highest quality equity, such as common shares and retained earnings, which provide a strong foundation for the bank's financial resilience. On the other hand, supplementary capital or Tier 2 contributed a relatively small amount of only 3% of the total capital. In terms of risk management, BCA show strong and maintained performance. In 2024, BCA's risk-weighted assets were recorded at 910.2 trillion Indonesian rupiah, higher than in 2023. To maintain the sustainability of its capital strength, BCA relies on the healthy financial performance growth, where most of the net profit generated each year is not distributed as dividends, but retained to strengthen the bank's capital.
Okay, now I will explain about bank source of funds of Bank Sentral Asia. Sources of bank funds for banks such as BCA include demand deposits, time deposits, savings stage, loans received, long-term loans received, collateral deposits, and other funds. In accordance with the limitation of the problem in the previous chapter, only third-party funds will be discussed further. Third-party funds or DPK are funds collected by banks from the community. Sources of funds from the community are the most important source of funds for bank operations and are a measure of the bank's success if it is able to finance its operations from this source of funds. Collecting funds from the community can be said to be relatively easier when compared to other sources of funds. In addition, it can be done effectively by providing relatively higher interest rates and providing various other attractive facilities such as gifts, ATMs, and satisfactory service. However, BCA's largest source of funds certainly comes from DPK, which grew 6.2% to 1 trillion Indonesian rupiah, supported by growth of low-cost fund or CASA of 4.7% to 869.8 trillion Indonesian rupiah as of September 2023. Hera said that BCA's CASA to total DPK ratio reached around 80% and was one of the highest in the industry with low and stable funding costs. Another advantage of fund source from the community is that the amount is unlimited, whether from individuals, companies, or other community institutions. There are three types of saving in banks as a means of obtaining funds from the public, namely tabungan hari depan or tahapan Bank Sentral Asia, which is savings house deposits and withdrawals are not limited either in frequency or amount as long as the balance is sufficient. Tahapan BCA saving house withdrawals can only be made according to certain agreed conditions, but cannot be withdrawn with a sale, billiard, giro, and or other similar tools. Number two is Giro. Giro BCA is flexible product and has various facilities that are adjust to current business needs. Giro will support the smooth running of the business of customers who have very active financial transaction. And the last one is deposit. A term deposit issued by BCA where the withdrawals can only be made within a certain period of time based on the agreement between the depositor and the bank. Deposits are also the right investment vehicle.
Bank use of funds. The use of funds is banking refers to how a bank utilizes for the funds it has raised to support operation, expand business activities, manage liquidity, and their profitability. At Bank Sentral Asia, this is a key component of its asset and liability management strategy. As a financial intermediary, BCA not only collect funds from the public, but also actively allocate them to productive activities that generate add value for both the bank and overall economy. Leading and loan disbursement into consumer credit, commercial credit, and corporate credit. Investment in financial instruments and securities is done to optimizing the result for either maintaining bank liquidity and diversify asset portfolio to reduce risk. And include government securities, SBN, SBI, and corporate bonds, and Sukuk Syariah-based instrument. Interbank fund placement and short-term instrument, including interbank current account, time deposit, call money, fulfillment of regulatory obligation such as GWM, CAR, LCR, minimum reserve requirement, capital adequacy ratio, and liquidity coverage ratio. And operational expenditures and business development, the use of funds, including financial employee salaries and other operational costs, development of banking infrastructure, development of digital service, and strengthened cybersecurity. As acquisition and establishment of subsidiaries engaged in Islamic banking, financing, securities and capital market, and remittance and international service. Next.
Bank managing liquidity BCA. PT Bank Sentral Asia or BCA has demonstrated a strong liquidity management strategy during the period of 2022 to early 2025. Ensure the bank remains resilient and trustworthy amid economic change. 3K financial ratio highlight BCA performance is loan to deposit ratio or LDR. From 2022 to early 2025, BCA keep its LDR safely below 85%, showing careful loan growth and good liquidity control. And to liquid access to third-party fund, BCA maintained over 25% in 2023-2024, showing it could handle sudden withdrawals using safe liquid access. And 3, liquidity coverage ratio. With the national average of Augustus, BCA as a systematic bank likely exceed this benchmark, showing its robust ability to handle short-term stress scenarios.
Okay, the first, what is interest rate risk? Interest rate risk is the potential impact of market rate change on a bank's income and capital. It affects both short-term earnings, net interest income, and long-term value. And then there are 4 key types of interest rate risk. First, repricing risk, mismatch in timing of rate change on asset versus liabilities. Second is basis risk, different benchmark moving inconsistently. Third, yield curve risk, change in curve shape. And then the last is option risk, early repayments or withdrawals by customers. And then how BCA manage interest rate risk? BCA use gap analysis to measure mismatches and runs scenario simulation like 200 bps rate change to see the impact on income and capital. Now, we move to the next slide. Okay. Now let's look at how BCA manage the risk and the results they have achieved. First, BCA use hedging instruments such as swaps to reduce rate volatility. The second is the ALCO committee oversees interest rate exposure and policy alignment. Third, they offer both fixed and floating rate products and adjust pricing based on market trends. The last is BCA conduct stress testing under extreme scenario like sudden interest spikes. So, and because of that, BCA performance result is like BCA maintain stable NIM of 5.3% and a strong chart of 29.4%, showing strong risk control and financial resilience.
Okay, in this time I will explain about how Bank Sentral Asia manage the credit risk. Bank Sentral Asia work hard to manage credit risk so that the bank's assets stay safe and loans are kept low. In 2023, loans to customer increased to 750.48 trillion rupiah, and at the same time, losses from bad loans went down, which shows that the loan quality got better. The bank set aside 33.31 trillion rupiah to cover possible credit loss and showing good preparation. It also prepared 3.37 trillion rupiah for loans that haven't been given out yet, just in case they turn risk. And then the next slide is Bank Sentral Asia manage credit risk carefully to keep its loan portfolio healthy and profitable. First, Bank Sentral Asia use the 5C approach. The first one is character, capacity, capital, condition, and collateral to assess borrowers. The bank also monitor loans regularly to avoid problems early. In 2023, Bank Sentral Asia's net profit grew to 48.66 trillion rupiah, up from 40.76 trillion rupiah in 2022. This shows that good risk management not only protects the bank's asset, but also supports strong and steady profit growth. Overall, Bank Sentral Asia doesn't just focus on covering loss, but also takes steps to prevent them by identifying and managing risk early. This smart approach helps build trust with investors and keeps the bank financially stable for the long term.
Next slide is about bank managing market risk at BCA. The first topic is about understanding market risk at BCA. The definition of market risk itself is the risk of losses due to function in market variables such as interest rate, exchange rate, and equity prices. The important is to market risk can impact BCA's trading portfolio, investment return, and overall financial stability. The objective is to effective management ensures profitability and regulatory compliance. Okay, next slide. BCA market risk management strategies. The first one is interest rate risk. That is monitored using gap and duration analysis, asset liability adjustment. And there's foreign exchange risk, and then equity price risk, and continuous monitoring and reporting. And there's research evidence and the best practice, as you can see. Okay, next slide. Okay, next slide is about bank managing liquidity risk at BCA. The definition of the liquidity itself is the risk of being unable to meet short-term obligation, and the important is to essential for operational continuity and customer trust, and regulatory focus on LCR. Okay, next slide is about BCA liquidity risk management practices. The first one is to maintain high LCR and NSFR, and then stable funding from CASA or current account and savings account, approx 80%, and then regular liquidity gap analysis and stress testing and contingency funding plan for crisis scenarios. Bank Sentral Asia have strong financial health and stability through solid capital, efficient fund use, and effective risk management. Its high tier 1 capital and complements with regulation ensure resilience, while focus on digital transformation support long-term growth. That concludes our presentation from Group 3. Based on our analysis, we can see that PT Sentral Asia stands out as one of Indonesia's most stable and trust banks, supported by strong capital management and effective risk control. We hope our presentation has provided useful insight and a clear understanding of BCA operational performance. Thank you for your time and attention.